Hello again everyone, Saki here and welcome back to Victoria 3 Let's Learn Japan. And when we last left off, we started setting up railroads. We do have a railroad in Fukuoka that runs from Kumamoto to Fukuoka itself. And we were 10 weeks away from setting up a railroad in Kansai, hopefully getting this infrastructure up and allowing more throughput. Government legitimacy is a thing. We are at 25%. The shogunate at 21.3, and we were suppressing them, if I remember correctly. So hopefully those numbers and that clout will go down, allowing us to become more of a legitimate government. We're also working on landed voting, and it's taking quite a bit because of our low legitimacy, but we'll gain 20 legitimacy when we pass landed voting. Right now it just has a 10% chance to stall, 25% to advance, and a 50% chance of passing, but that is going to be a year and a half away. So we just need to continue keeping on, and hopefully there'll be enough engines to supply our railroad here. Looking at our engine demand, where are our engines? So we're producing 22 and we only need 20, so engines are fairly cheap. Once this new railroad comes online, that might increase the need for engines. We'll just have to wait and see. But 3 weeks away from our Kyoto Railroad. And railway is up and running in Kansai. We're going to see what the need for coal will be. But that will increase our transportation, hopefully lowering the cost of transportation itself. We'll let this settle in just a little bit and see what that does in the grand scheme of things while we hire in our capitalists, clerks, machinists, and laborers. They should be able to fill up fairly quickly. And that did improve our infrastructure quite a bit, and we do have a railroad running from Kyoto to Kobe, so that is all well and good. Nice. Steel mills are fully employed in Kansai. I'm pretty sure there was a higher demand for the engines themselves, so that will help overall. And indeed, we are getting more transportation out of it, lowering the cost of transportation. Still profitable indeed, and we're almost up full. Wooden passenger carriages uses more wood. It uses more infrastructure, but grants more transportation. Let's do that. We'll do wooden carriages. And that should help out quite a bit. We are using a little bit more wood, but that is below market value already. So that should be okay. And yeah, that's right. Mexico owes us an obligation for helping them in the war. I'm not sure what Mexico can do for us exactly, but we'll take a look, see? Yeah, not really seeing what Mexico can do for us here. Let's take a look at our market and see what we can increase. Let's see if we can improve some standards of living while we're here. So in order to help the lower strata, it looks like clothing is still the big thing. They're spending 21% more than they should on clothes, and that's 15% of their total expenditures. So I think clothing would be a good bang for the buck. Let's take a look at our textile mills and see if we can improve anything. We have dye workshops with craftsmen sewing. We can't do mechanized looms just yet. That would be awesome if we could. And we can't change the ownership. So perhaps another textile mill is needed here in Kansai, and we may be able to get up to iron frame buildings. Once we get enough iron, that would just peg us out on the amount of iron we need, though. Let's take a look at our buildings here and look for some iron, the iron mines. We could go to the atmospheric engine pump, which produces more iron at the cost of more coal and tools, and the condensing engine pump, even more iron. And we need more coal and machinists. So let's do atmospheric engine pump there. Try to get more iron out of it. With a nitro, yeah, we use more explosives, but we get more money and more iron out of that. So when that is all said and done, we'll look and see what our iron price is. And yes, indeed, the cost of iron is going down quite a bit. Do we change over to iron frame buildings? How much iron do we have to spare? So as it stands, we're using 20 more iron. But if we swapped, hey, there's crystal glass, research done. if we were to swap to iron frame buildings, we need 200 more iron. That would be quite the thing. Could we do a trade route, I imagine, for some iron, I wonder? We are importing, or no, yeah, we're importing iron already from Russia. That's where our bonus is coming from. So, yeah, we would have to increase that quite a bit. We're only 40 convoys lower. Yeah, we'll need to improve our iron mines for sure. To help out with food, we might go canneries. I think that one would be an okay thing for us here. Continuing on, 26 weeks for our next textile manufacturing. The leader of the petite bourgeoisie has died. Where are they in the grand scheme of things? So they're happy. 5.5% clout. Still working on the shogunate, 20.8%. It would be nice to have those generals retire. I think that would go a very long way to reducing their clout as well, and lower them to not powerful. And then we just hold that for 10 years, and then we get the restoration, whatever that might entail. More gold discovered in Hokkaido with a gold rush. Yeah, I think we need some migration attraction. Or gold fields throughput. Interesting. Let's see what the gold fields are doing up there in Japanese Hokkaido. So the throughput is at 1% from economy of scale. They're making 783 from the weekly balance. Let's look at the Hokkaido workforce. And literally everyone is employed in some fashion. Let's spread the word and get some migration attraction up there for 2 years. We might be able to build something up there. It's just a low population growth for sure. So hopefully Japanese Hokkaido can become more populated. The dream. All right. Increased standard of living or radicals from standard of living decreases. Nah, increase their standard of living, sure. And I think what we can do for more intelligentista approval and petite bourgeoisie, we increase the government wage just a little bit since we are running at a surplus while constructing, and that should help out their approval rating. And we got more migration attraction from propagandists. Nice. And our General Yozu Tori is 64 years old, and Major General Igawa is 59 with the shogunate. So when they retire, hopefully that won't upset the shogunate too awful bad, as we didn't fire them. They just, passed away or retired. So that would lower the power of the shogunate a bit and lower their clout quite a bit, making them not so powerful and, allowing things to be a little bit better for us in the long run. Textile mills to level 12. Hopefully more employees will come in, and hopefully that will produce more clothing for sure. Lower that amount of need and increase some quality of life, hopefully. So the price of silk is skyrocketing as well. Let's take a look and see if we can improve our silk production a bit. So silk plantations can use rail transportation just to reduce labors. We can't actually do automatic irrigation to get more silk just yet. Okay, so we need pump jacks for that. We just need to increase our silk plantation in Kansai, so that will be next up on the docket. And looking at our journal entries, steam engine time. If we increase our motor industry up to level 3, then that would lead to the engines of progress. But if we increase our engine production, would they lose their profitability? We're actually making extra engines, so we would need, in order to prepare for that, get another railroad up and running, which I'm not opposed to. Let's see, so our rail building, are they at level 2, I wonder? No, just level 1. So we would really need to go ham on engine production to get that. It might be nice. We're 2 weeks away from our silk plantation, so once that is done, we'll see if we can feasibly put another railroad somewhere and get some extra engine manufactories. And silk plantation's up and running. Let's hope we get some more silk out of this and maintain profitability. And fully employed silk is coming back under control, and we are almost ready for voting. Come on, landed voting. Yes. So 150 authority, 20 legitimacy, political strength from aristocrats, capitalists, clergymen, and officers, and we can do women's suffrage. All right, sweet. It supposedly radicalizes the samurai. Those who own land or capital property are given a vote. So looking at our legitimacy, we're back up to 49%, shogunate at 20.4 clout. That's what I like to see. Oh, and new parties have formed. All right, new parties, the Agrarian Party, represented by the peasants, the Imperial Rule Party, represented by the samurai, and the Constitutional Reform Party from the Intelligentista, and the shogunate have lost a ton of clout. That is what I like to see. Now we might be able to do something. So with the shogunate no longer powerful, indeed, I think we can stop suppressing them to get some of our clout back, or our authority, to go up to plus 10. So they'll be at 16.7. That's what I like to see. Ooh, and we have an election coming up in 179 days. That will be interesting because we may get a free government sort of reorganization when that happens. So what I'll do is I'll hold off on trying to pass a law for now until that election kicks in and I can see exactly what is going to go on here. Yeah, and as far as laws go, actually, a 38% chance from the peasants, intelligentista, samurai, bourgeoisie, and lower the shogunate even more. Let's actually try to do that. We'll see what the next tick is, October 4th, 1862. So about a year. All right, sounds good. And hardwood is dirt cheap right now. Is there anything we can do to improve hardwood usage? So furniture, shipyards, and arms industries, and we do need some more shipyards, I believe. Also, we also need furniture manufactories. Looking at our base furniture needs. Okay, so we're actually running okay. We could pull the trade route out. It is level 6. We're importing furniture. If we cancel that, we get 349 convoys back, and we can focus on building our own furniture now that wood is dirt cheap. Yeah, let's do that for a hot minute. Although if we wanted to improve our glass production, and glass is massively needed, we could do a lead production. Lead production's in Chubu. And I believe once we start getting some lead in, then our glass works can increase to leaded glass. And that will get more glass out and help us out quite a bit here. And 4 months away from an election, it looks like 6.5 million voters in the Agrarian Party and 3.19 million members in the Imperial Rule. So moving the samurai in might be something we have to do. We'll try to keep the intelligentsia in as much as possible, but they are not looking good with their momentum from Nabeshima's popularity, 95% in the whole. And a value that is randomized at the start of election, minus 15. So the Imperial Rule, oh man, so the Imperial Rule Party got a really good roll. That's why the samurai are showing up in force. And Agrarian, yeah, sort of evens out. And the industrialists have lost their party leader. I was hoping it was one of our generals, but they're still hanging on at 65 and 60 years old. And a little over 2 months away from our election, we'll see what the government looks like here. Untrained hands. Children working in the motor industries in Kansai have suffered injuries. Keep children off the factory floor, or mortality and interest group approval down from the trade unions. Minus 10% dependence income. Yeah, I hate taking money out of the family's hands, but we have to keep children off the floor. Hopefully we can move to remove child labor, which compulsory primary school. It's supported by one interest group, the trade unions, but the industrialists definitely oppose it. We haven't even invented human rights yet, so that's not a thing we can do. And we need to research the labor movement in order to enact that one. So that, unfortunately, is going to have to stay. The whistle-stop tour. So the intelligentsia's leader is traveling across. Campaigning by rail is a smart move. Yeah, momentum to the Constitutional Reform Party. Sure, the railway building throughput goes down, but I think it would be okay to get the Reform Party some momentum here. Yeah, and from that, probably the price of transportation itself increased from that throughput. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad to increase the railway up a bit. How is our coal? So coal's a little bit expensive. Engines are still breaking even. They used to be influential and now they are powerful. Yeah, we need to get that local police force gone. Get that dedicated police force in. That would drop them below, and we don't have the authority to suppress. We're still bolstering the intelligentsia, and we are encouraging road maintenance in Hokkaido. Can we drop the road maintenance in Hokkaido? What is their infrastructure like? So I think we can do that. So 25% infrastructure and construction efficiency. We'll cancel road maintenance there to get 177. And since we're running a positive budget, we will reduce the... Yeah, it's the same, so we're not getting a boost that much from tobacco. We'll remove the consumption tax on tobacco. That will give us enough that we can then start suppressing the shogunate once more. All right, 2 weeks until the election. Once this election is over, hopefully we'll be able to reorganize our government without a big hit. We'll see what the overall votes will be. We may have to move in the samurai to become more legitimate. Luckily, the Agrarian Party is leading and they're already in government, so that should be pretty legitimate, I would say. All right, election, let's kick it off here. All right, election results in the shogunate are in, so 66% voted for the Agrarian, 27.8% for the samurai. A free government reform. All right, so we're suppressing the shogunate. If we move over the samurai, does that increase our legitimacy? No, actually it does not. Interesting enough. All right, is there a way we can move in the industrials, let's say? So that's 10%. Okay, how about the bourgeoisie? Nope, bourgeoisie goes down. All right, so yeah, let's keep our legitimacy higher. We'll keep the agrarians in, the intelligentsia in, and now the industrialist wants to join the Constitutional Reform Party, giving them overall more votes than the Agrarian Party. That's what I like to see. So now we can work on industrial laws whenever this dedicated police force kicks in. All right, lead mines are now open. So what we're going to do is head to our buildings and go to our glassworks and put in leaded glass. And then hopefully that will spur the need for lead here. We might have to get in some tools, but there is a need for lead now, for sure. Let's see what happens here. And the lead mines can indeed use more coal and tools to give us more lead with the condensing engine pump. More lead, more problems. Nitro, Yep, more lead using explosives. We'll put in nitroglycerin. And that should allow us to get a lot of lead out of this one particular mine. Oh, the Heavenly Kingdom started an import route of tools from the Japanese market. Do we have tools that we could export? Yeah, we're actually running a deficit. Thanks, Heavenly Kingdom. Who in the gravy are you anyway? Oh, so Heavenly Kingdom is actually split up with the Great Qing. Let's begin improving relations here with the Heavenly Kingdom. They are neutral. Interesting enough. All right, canning is ready in our food industries. So let's look at our food industry here. If we went to canneries, they'll use more iron and more fish, but less grain to give us more groceries. Big diplomatic play coming here. Yeah, that's not going to work out for the United States, I don't think, to return Nevada and return New Mexico, return California, and open up the American market. And it looks like a lot of folks are joining. We're going to stay out of that. We're going to continue to improve our own place for sure. Ooh, and baking powder. 14 to 22 months, we will roll with that. And we are almost ready to put in the dedicated police force, low radicalism and support for preserving the local. So that is all well and good. It'll be interesting to see if the United States back down, but more war goals are put in place. Humiliating Russia. So that's your goal, is it? The bourgeoisie have expressed their concerns about government decisions favoring industrialists. So group approval, or political strength from the bourgeoisie and group approval. What is the bourgeoisie looking at? They're only 4.8. I mean, they're loyal. So they're giving us loan interest rate, which we're not taking out even a loan. So yeah, the bourgeoisie, sorry, not going to happen. So Mexico offers an obligation, but we couldn't really use their obligation for anything anyway. We are going to decline that. Sorry, Mexico. Yeah, we need another tooling workshop in Kansai now that the price of tools has really skyrocketed here. Luckily, okay, so we might need another coal mine on top of that. Is there something we can do to the coal mines here to help them out? We're already using condensing engine pump. We are already using nitro, and if we do that, it just lowers the labors needed. It's not going to give us any extra coal. So after these tooling workshops, probably coal mines are next, and we are just a few weeks away from possibly passing the dedicated police force, which would lower the shogunate's clout even more. Then we wouldn't even really have to suppress them anymore, I don't believe. Price of wood's a little bit more expensive. The price of lead went down. Looking at our glass works, however, if we went to crystal glass, it uses more lead and it makes us more money. All right, cool. Crystal glass, doing ceramics as well. Yeah, we need our porcelain, so we'll continue to focus on ceramics here. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of substance farms in Tohoku. Yeah, migration attractions, but upper strata pops in Tohoku become radicalized. So how much population even is that? It's 3 million peasants. I mean, they, yeah, migration attraction, but upper strata, or the industrialist group approval. What are the industrialists sitting at right now? Plus 16? So lowering that to plus 15 really won't harm us there, so we'll do that. Discord with the Buddhist monks on the dedicated police force. All right, beneficial factionalism, a 15% enactment chance, and Buddhist monks get pop attraction lowered. Yeah, so 15, yeah, that's only 10, right? Yeah, so if we wanted to boost the samurai, that would be the way to go. But with their support, the bill should pass. 60% on the dedicated police force. June 4th, 1863, so less than a year to try to pass that. That price of lead has really skyrocketed for sure since we went with the better glass works. Let's take a look and see. The two in Kanto are making a loss here. So I think what we have to do is go back down to just leaded glass. Yeah, we'll make more money that way until we can get our lead situation figured out. Increase our supply of convoys by a healthy margin, you say? Well, we might be able to do that. Let's take a look at our shipyards here. So luckily they only need wood and fabric, and they're relatively low price. Yeah, the price of glass is skyrocketing because we're not producing as much for sure. Yeah, we could do that. Now, since we're doing okay in furniture, I'm going to cancel this import from France. That should improve convoys in other trade routes as well. So we are pulling in iron from Russia, or tools going out from the Heavenly Kingdom, and we're still exporting sugar. Are we running an abundance of sugar, or do we need to pull that right back as well? Yeah, we need to cancel that. Sugar is a little bit expensive, so we'll pull off the sugar to the United States as well, and then hopefully that will lower the price of sugar. With the recent investment in Chugoku, a positive for the logging camps. The industrialists deserve all the credit, and definitely not the shogunate. But trade union, pop attraction. Let's see, we've got the industrialists, yeah, in the government, so the industrialists deserve all the credit. Good job, industrialists. Yeah, the price of sugar went dirt cheap. Tools are getting a little bit more cheap, and we are continuing to build a tooling workshop there. So we might be okay on tools for a bit here. I'd like to increase that taxation capacity. Shikoku is almost there where we need it, but like Kansai and Chubu, really inefficient. All right, tooling workshops, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. There are openings for capitalists, engineers, machinists, and laborers. Come one, come all. There we go, fully employed, and the price of tools has came right down. Next up, we'll see what we need here. Yeah, transportation is really expensive, followed by glass. And if we got more lead, that would allow us to really boost the glass production here. So in Chubu, I think what we're gonna do is increase the lead mines once more. And once that is up and running, we will go leaded glass here. All right, May 31st coming up quick. We'll see if we get the dedicated police force, which should lower the clout of the shogunate here, which are getting 10% of it from its local police force. With the dedicated police force, that will surely make sure that the shogunate don't need to be suppressed for the honorable restoration, I assume, as they won't be that powerful at all. And there we go, dedicated police force. We have more law enforcement institutions we can do. Peasants, intelligentsia, samurai, and the bourgeoisie definitely endorse it. The shogunate, yep, are hopefully losing a lot of their clout here. Nice, and egalitarianism unlocked. One max social security institution investment. So we have a lot of laws we can do. Multiculturalism for citizenship, universal suffrage for the distribution of power, proportional taxation for taxation. Okay, we'll take a look at those. Let's try public schools. Intelligentsia, trade unions, and industrialists all like it. The Buddhist monks oppose it, but a 21% chance of success. So we lose 10% of our authority, but we're still running just positive there, breaking even. And this next vote is going to happen March 15th of next year. And poor Mexico. Looks like the United States is going ham. President Gordon Hammond. Never heard of you before, but apparently you are loved and you are Dixie. It'll be interesting to see. There has not been a civil war. It would be raging on in the U.S. if the Civil War was timed appropriately. I wonder if they just conceded and put a Southern planter interest group in charge, Lead is now in. So let's go to the buildings. Let's go to our urban centers. Let's go to our glassworks and put in some crystal glass. And that will increase the need for lead, hopefully making it very profitable. Yep, price of glass went right down, but the price of lead skyrocketed. Hopefully we can offset that just a bit. Yeah, the price of lead coming down just a little bit more. Do we need to look at our coal mine, see what we need to do there to improve our coal output a bit, as that's the most expensive by percentage thing to make lead. But looks like we're coming kind of breaking even here. Yeah, we are now good on glass. It looks like the next thing we need is a little bit more lead and probably more coal, I would imagine. Is there anything we can do to our coal mines to boost them up? I don't believe so. We're already using nitro and the condensing engine pump, so Kyushu looks like it is going to get another coal mine going. Hey, we got baking powder in the food industries. Now, what can we do with that, I wonder? Nice, so baking powder uses more grain and sugar, which we have plenty of, to get us even more groceries. All right, baking powder in the food industry, outstanding. So mechanized workshops, 31 months, economy building cap, but more importantly, sewing machines and looms for our textile, outstanding. All right, power of the purse for the naval base. Do we actually even have naval bases? We've got shipyards. Nah, we don't even have any naval bases, so all right, sounds good. Just a few days away from the step to enact public schools, 21% chance. Can we roll that natural 20? No, rousing speech captivates the public though, that's what I like to see. So a 15% better chance, or a 10% better chance, with intelligentsia getting higher pop attraction for 5 years. Well, the next election is coming up in 2. Yeah, we'll do that. Get the intelligentsia pop attraction up. So hopefully that will allow more folks to join the intelligentsia. We're at 4.56 million on the political strength. So that should give the intelligentsia a little bit more clout, I would hope, which would actually increase this enactment success chance anyway. At least that's what I'm hoping. All right, coal mine about to stand up, ready to go. So then it is a question of where does this coal go when it is all said and done? Right, coal mines fully employed. Looks like lead would be the next big thing, as well as a little bit of explosives. So do we boost our lead mines once more? I think we do. Try to lower the price of lead a bit. That will use a little bit more of that coal. Explosives and tools. Lead mines stood up. Let's see what that does to the cost of our tools, coal, and explosives. Hopefully that'll bring the cost of lead right down, helping out those glassworks a bit. Yeah, so that lowered the need for lead quite a bit. It does look like tools are on their way, higher even still. But what I would like to do now is boost at least one level of government administration here in Kansai. I'm hoping what that will do will allow us to get some more tax money out of this and get some urbanization, taxation capacity. We don't need the bureaucracy as such, and we might have to accompany that with another paper production. Looking at our paper production, what exactly can we do with the paper mills? So the water tube boiler just uses more tools and coal so that they cannot hire as many laborers, unfortunately. So that doesn't actually give us any paper until we get chemical bleaching, which uses more dye. And I think we are sitting pretty on dye as far as that is concerned. I'm scrolling on the window here. Where is our dye production and how are we doing with that? I know it's on there. There we go. So we're actually 30 dye short. So in order to get some bleaching going on, we get the technology, we boost up a dye production, and then we can get a whole lot more paper out of this thing. But I think for now, while we wait for this, let's see if the public schools pass. A 1 in 3 shot before we go. Come on, intelligentsia. Come on, industrialists. Push through the public schools if you please. That would be awesome. A leader of the samurai has died. And the bourgeoisie is giving us more bureaucracy because they are influential. So that leader dying shook up the samurai. Boys and girls. Debate over the new public schools should have separate classes for male and female students, perhaps different curricula. All right, such is a relic of the past age. We can reduce the enactment time. The shogunate and the Buddhist monks are upset, or higher enactment time. No, such is a past age. So that will speed up. We'll vote on that September 17th in the next round of debates, but we didn't lose anything, which is the more important goal. General's still alive at 68 and 63, and so far, so good. The next election, if you're wondering, is in 2 years' time on the March 13th, 1866. Last time, Agrarian Party showed up for sure, but now we have the industrialists in the Constitutional Reform Party, and then the samurai with their Imperial Rule Party. They've got some clout up in there from the National Militia, but that will be for another time. Continuing on, working on the honorable restoration, improving relations with the Heavenly Kingdom, and staying out of a war that we don't belong in. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next Victoria 3 video. Take care.